Hi there. Today we'll look at how growth marketing can actually help you building your brand and growing your brand in 2021 and beyond. Because we often hear marketers saying, yeah, you guys growth hack stuff, or it's only for B2B, or I don't have a clear funnel like that, or I need to work on my brand awareness. All of those things might be true, but why is growth marketing still relevant for your brand, a consumer brand, another brand? It's still relevant in the decades to come now because there are so much more digital tools and digital touch points that allow you to do today what you weren't able to do 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Now, as marketeers, we're often being trained with the traditional model, meaning you invest a lot of money in awareness. This is where you build your campaigns. We need brand awareness. People need to know we exist and what we stand for. And you want to link your brand to some key attributes. And why do you do that? Because you want people to feel familiar with your brand. When you ask somebody on the street, do you know this brand? They need to answer, yes, I've seen it, I've heard it somewhere. And then you want to be in their consideration set. When they walk into a supermarket, when they need to buy something for their need, you want them to be among those 2-3 brands they're really considering buying. And then you have those final touch points that lead to a purchase. That's why communication in bars, the packaging in a supermarket, the experience at a car dealership is so important because you're made it that far, you're in that consideration set, but you need to go that last step towards purchase. And then you had loyalty. A customer bought us, hopefully they love the product, and now we need to make them loyal. They need to keep buying the product, and that's where loyalty cards and so came in. Now, we believe that in 2021, this model is actually a bit outdated. Now you can invent a lot of different models. We of course love our growth model. And our growth model starts with the same one, awareness. Again, you need to invest budget to allow consumers to get to know your brand. But there's a very, very big difference. Today, in today's world, you can actually move the conversation from that paid media to your own channels. If you do a TV spot, a radio spot, or online advertisement, you can actually have a call to action. Brand awareness is no longer enough. You can ask people to come through a landing page and then you continue the conversation. It's like you grab somebody on the street saying, hey, do you have 2 seconds? And they stop. What else are you gonna say to them? Then you're really gonna deliver your story, convey, educate them. And you can do all this today through own channels, email, SMS, your own social media pages. And that's super important because not everybody is ready to buy. Some people have a very, very, very long sales cycle. So you can actually keep the conversation going, stay in that consideration set of people, and you don't need massive media budgets anymore. That's why those small brands are able to grow that fast because they own the conversation. They own their channels through their social media pages or great conversational marketing, chatbots, SMS, and even email. Then the next step is activation. Yeah? And the big difference today is consumers have a lot more information available. So when they are ready to buy, they're looking at their consideration set, but they're not only going to trust your communication, they're going to talk to friends, they're going to look at reviews online, they're going to search for other information, for other brands online. And that's a big difference. You need to then get in touch with those people and actually give them the tools to compare, tell them why you're better. And so this is really more sales conversation, whereas when they're not ready to buy, you just want to stay in touch. And it's much more educational, conversational. In the activation, you want to bring your USPs forward, you want to have that sales conversation, but again, you want to use your own channels. People are not in the store anymore looking at your packaging. They're actually looking at different products before they go in the store, so you need to be present there as well. Also, some people in that buying process might actually get to know your brand while you were not in their consideration set. Because for example, for big purchases, but even smaller purchases today, people have their consideration set, but then they start actively evaluating different options because there's so much more information available out there online. So you need to have those resources available. You need to have those reviews. You need to have those testimonials to attract people, and even people who weren't considering buying you might look at those reviews and say, okay, that might be interesting. On average, one brand is added to a consideration set of 3 brands in every buying purchase. So it's hugely important to play there as well. Then you have, of course, the revenue, the moment of purchase, very important to give a great customer experience. But then what? We're not going to go into the standard loyalty. We want to build that referral phase. And everybody knows those referral programs. Yeah, we've had 10,000 email addresses doing X, Y, Z. That's not necessarily a referral program. What we want to do is we want to make sure happy consumers become active loyalists. They are actively talking positively about your brand to friends, online, in reviews, and so on. And that's super important because those active loyalists are actually going to create the content that evaluators are looking for. If nobody's talking about your brand, people actively evaluating different brands can't find anything about you. So it's super important to, after the moment of purchase, cultivate that relationship. Get an NPS score, get reviews, get people to talk about you, incentivize them to share their experience online, because that is going to create a flow that is going to convince people who are considering buying your brands. And then the last one is retention. It's not necessarily loyalty. People are not staying loyal for no reason. You need to keep that conversation going. Stay engaged, keep sharing them in interesting content and so on. And the big difference is that whereas you used to need big budgets in every touch point and your main lever was actually the first one, that brand awareness, now in today's world, you invest in the top of the funnel with paid media, but these parts are actually through your own channels. Use SMS, use retargeting, use your social media pages, use mailing to keep consumers engaged, because those people are actually, you're gonna stay again in their consideration set for the next purchase. People don't buy again automatically. They're going to reevaluate every choice every time. But if they're happy about you, and if you stay in touch with them and you can anticipate their needs, get subscription models, for example, you will be able to bypass that and you will be for sure on the top of the list in their consideration set. So that was it. That's how we believe that you can grow your brand in 2021 using a new circular funnel and leveraging digital touchpoints. Now, very important in this funnel is content. You need to create content. Whereas basic USPs were enough because you had 2 seconds in an advertisement or a TV campaign and then packaging and your place on shelf. Today you have so much more digital touch points and you can't always be selling. You need to just keep the conversation going. Imagine you have a food brand, share recipes, share testimonials, share inspiration. And you can do all that to stay in the consideration set, to stay top of mind. And then the moment people want to buy, that's where they're actually going to look at your USPs and so on. So content is the name of the game to get that circular growth model going. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or remarks, get in touch, leave a comment or send me a mail and I'll be happy to discuss some further ideas. Thanks.